Hello everyone and welcome to Kim's Cozy Corner. It is time for us to take care of GreenStalk number 15 and our elevated raised beds. Y'all, the weather is changing, it's cooling off, but it is a beautiful sunny day in Southwest Ohio today. And it's time for me to get that fall season going. I've already started in some other areas and I'll show you in other videos. But GreenStalk number 15 has just been sitting here idle waiting on me to get it set up. So we will start with the GreenStalk. So this is a 5-tier GreenStalk leaf planter. The pockets are about 7 inches deep and it's already been set up. We set it up early in the spring. I took it apart, made sure I cleaned it all out real good. So I know all of the watering disc and everything's in good shape. So all we got to do is add something new to this GreenStalk. So as I'm looking at the soil level in each of these pockets, y'all, it's really not that bad. It's not that bad at all. And I have Happy Frog soil in here. And I don't think I need to add any more soil, but I definitely need to give it some fertilizer. It wants some food. So we're going to get some food for it right now. Dr. Earth is my first choice of fertilizers, but I don't have any. And this is what they had at the store when I bought, and I always try to buy a big bag. So the bag we're using today is a larger size. I do like Garden Tone. It's my second choice from a granular fertilizer standpoint. This is what I call a slow release fertilizer. I'm going to take this little bitty, what is this, 4 ounces? Is that really 4 ounces? That can't be. Maybe that's 2 ounces. Anyway, I'm going to take this little bitty cup right here and I'm going to add fertilizer to each of the pockets. I think I'm putting about 1/3 of this cup in each of the pockets. And we're going to do that. We're going to work that in before we move on to the next step. Happy Frog is a little bit on the expensive side, but there will be links to the different types of fertilizers, the potting mix, everything that I use. In your GreenStalks, please, please, please use a high quality potting mix. Even if it's not Happy Frog, that's what you need to use to have success in your GreenStalk. And so that the soil doesn't get so compacted. So something to keep in mind. GreenStalk just finished their, I guess you would say, annual Labor Day sale. If you bought a GreenStalk, y'all, you don't have to wait till next year to start that GreenStalk. There is still time in this season in most areas. I live in Zone 6B. As I mentioned earlier, I am in Southwest Ohio, and I can still grow from seeds if I'm talking cool season crops, but I can grow from seeds even now. And we are in early September. And we are getting ready to put in seeds. Now, cool season crops can stand a light frost. So I will be expecting anything I put in here to be frost hardy. Now I'm putting leafy greens in here though, right? I mean, I can't, at this point in time, it's probably too late for me to start from seeds on something that takes like 120 days because then I'll be in deep, heavy frost. And I don't think they'll be too happy in that kind of frost. So I'll bring you back once I get all of this soil mixed in. And you should never put your seeds, and if you've been on my channel, you know, you hear me talking about this all the time, and I just like to talk to you, y'all. But you shouldn't put your seeds on straight fertilizer, even if it's low and slow fertilizer, single digit numbers. You should never put your seeds directly on the fertilizer. So we're going to get this mixed in just a little bit, and I'll bring you back. Get the peanuts out. So I mentioned that we're going to put leafy greens in here, but I didn't tell you what kind of leafy greens. So we are definitely in lettuce season. So lettuce is a cooler season crop, and being the beginning of September is the perfect time to start some lettuce from seeds. But that's not what we're focusing on today here, y'all. We are focusing on collard greens. Collard greens, and more collard greens. Now, I replanted some throughout the garden, and y'all, I didn't pick it like I was supposed to. I know I didn't. So we're going to plant some here that's going to take us all the way up, hopefully, through November. So we are going to grow the Georgia Southern collard green. And you can pick your collard greens pretty much at any time. You know, you can pick them young, you can wait till they get really big. These say that they're about 60 to 65 days to harvest. We're also going to do champion collard greens, which is, by the way, becoming one of my favorites as well. They just kind of melt in your mouth. And it says days to maturity is 60 to 70 days. And then we're going to do Morris heading collard greens. If I have any in this pack, I don't know, that pack feeling kind of empty. But the Morris heading collard greens says 80 days to harvest, so we might be cutting that one kind of close. But we're going to put them in there anyway. Maybe we'll get lucky. And GreenStalk also have frost covers that you can put on top of your GreenStalks to give you an even longer season. So even if one of those super heavy frosts come in, throw the frost cover on it and I can protect these cool season crops, and I might be able to get all the way through December. We'll see. But anyway, that's what we're planting. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 tiers. We'll put the Morris heading in just 1 and 2 tiers of everything else. We don't need to plant our collard greens too deep, not too deep. The collard greens, I think is a 1/2 inch deep. What did it say? 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch deep. And that's what we're going to do. So we're going to put the Morris heading collard greens in the bottom. So at least I know where they are. And then we will put the Georgia Southern collard greens. That's what I have right now in the next 2 tiers. I'm trying to put no more than 3 or 4 seeds per pocket. That's to make up the difference if something doesn't germinate, or if this pocket does really well and I got another pocket that sucks, I can move these seeds to that pocket. Once they become plants, I can transplant them somewhere else. Okay, I've been all the way around now. I was getting ready to say, I don't know where I am. All right, we'll do the next pocket. I got to put something in here to know where I started. It's going to be like I was on that on that lemon GreenStalk where I put 2 different things in the same pocket. And then I had an empty pocket because I forgot where I was in the planting. But I will get these all in and I will bring you back so we can talk about what else we need to do. So all of the greens are in, the collard greens. And now we are going to sprinkle in just a little bit more of this Happy Frog right on top. I think that's the easiest way versus disturbing the seeds. We'll just sprinkle it right on top. And I am using soil from one of my grow bags where I was growing potatoes in. You know, look at that, peanut. That peanut tried to mess me up. Anyway, let me finish this process and I'll bring you back. And now, y'all, it's time to water it in. Since we're working with seeds, we are going to lightly water each pocket. I had to move all of my stuff out the way. Last time I did this, y'all, I wasn't paying attention. I got everything wet that was in my little wagon. I got the fertilizer wet, my Mykos, everything was wet. I'm trying to pay better attention this time. But anyway, we're going to water every pocket because we started with seeds. Seeds don't have the long roots. There's no way they can get down there and grab that moisture. So I got to make sure I have moisture at the top. Now that I've watered every pocket, I'm going to make sure I don't have any trash in here. Let's start there. Let's get the trash out. And then we're going to fill it up from the top. Let it run out the bottom. I'm going to wait a few minutes, and guess what, y'all? I'm going to fill it up again. I want to make sure that the pockets are nice and moist. Now that the weather has cooled off a lot, and I do mean the weather has really cooled off. I think the high today is only going to be 80 degrees. I don't have to water as often, and I don't mind being out here watering when I'm dealing with not a cloud in the sky and only a high of 80 degrees. So I'm going to water it in really good. I'm going to keep watering till it comes out the bottom, and I can hear it going through right now. I done lost my little hose. Well, it's going to come out the bottom somewhere. Oh, right here. Once it comes out the bottom, we're going to do the same thing again. But that's it for this GreenStalk. So GreenStalk number 15 is back up and running, and all the GreenStalks are fully loaded with something in them. Now we are going to move over to that space just beside us there, and we're going to work on the Vego Garden elevated raised bed. So y'all, this right here is one of my new favorite things. I love my GreenStalks. Let me be clear. I love my GreenStalks. So if you don't have a lot of space and you need to grow vertically and you want to grow a lot of food, the GreenStalk is my #1 choice. But if you have plenty of space, GreenStalk still works, but so does this Vego Garden metal raised bed. This is a 2x6? Yeah, this is a 2x6 metal raised bed. It has shelving underneath, so I could put stuff underneath if I need to. And I am using the square foot garden method on here. So this will be the 3rd time that I've succession planted in this space here. Now I have burgundy beans growing over here. I'm not going to do anything with those. And I have some carrots that fooled me, made me think I had carrots, and there are no carrots over there yet. But I'll show you what I replanted a couple of days ago and what we're going to work on today. Okay, y'all, in this bed right here, like I mentioned, I got carrots that did nothing. Behind the carrots, y'all, I have lettuce growing, and something dug that up. I have lettuce that I'm growing over here. I started from seed a long time ago. It didn't do so well. I planted more seeds, and that is lettuce growing in here. And there's too many, but I'll see how they're doing. And based on how they're doing, I'll move some things around once they get bigger. In this next space right here, y'all, what did I say this was? This is I think this is yellow beets. I think this is yellow beets over here. And look at that, y'all, that's lettuce. That lettuce does not belong over here with these beets, but that's what that is. So we have beets growing here, and there are a couple places where they're too thick as well, but we will worry about that later. Right here, I transplanted some lettuce. So I had lettuce growing in one of my other GreenStalks. Actually, the yellow GreenStalk, I planted lettuce and I overplanted the lettuce. So as I was thinning that lettuce, I took some of those transplants and I brought them over here. And that was 2 days ago. And they looked really bad yesterday. Hopefully they'll go ahead and perk on back up. But I put 4 lettuce plants in that spot right there. If you follow the square foot garden method, I think it's about 4 heads of lettuce per square. In this one here, I have 2 squares right here that don't have anything in it, right here. And then I have 2 squares right here that doesn't have anything in it. And in these 2 squares, I'll come back to that one. In these 2 squares right here, y'all, I also did the same thing with some cabbage over in one of my metal raised beds where I overseeded the area. The seeds came up and I went ahead and brought a couple of those plants over here, and I'm going to put 1 plant per square. And if they don't survive, I'll bring another one. If they don't survive, I'll bring another one. Anyway, in this right here, this is more lettuce that I planted a while ago. And on the back end here, these are the royal burgundy beans. All right, so I only need to work in this spot right here. And these poor little pieces of cabbage don't look too hot. So let's work with the cabbage first, and then we'll work on those two areas right there. And this is just a little bit bigger. Let me slide this down to make sure I got the space I need. I had some soil, some potting mix that I had planned on putting in these pockets here. But y'all, I'm feeling pretty good about the height of this bed. I'm just a couple inches from the top, so I should be okay for what I'm trying to plant. So only thing I think I need to put in here is a little fertilizer, y'all. So let's grab that fertilizer up. I just keep moving my little cabbage over. And let's get these 4 spaces fertilized. So I'm gonna just sprinkle the fertilizer on the top, and then we will just take our hands and we will massage it in, y'all. Just give it a little toss. How are your fall gardens going? Are you having a fall garden? Or is your season just getting ready to start? Because I know there are a lot of international people who watch my channel. So I'm just curious, what season is it for you where you live? And what are you getting ready to plant? All right, these 4 spaces have been fertilized. I had just a little bit left. I'm gonna call it top dressing. Just a little bit over here. Again, you don't supposed to put fertilizer on your plants, not directly on your plants. So we're gonna call this a top dressing where I'm going just around the plants. And now, oh, I forgot my Mykos. I'm gonna use Mykos for these 2 little plants that's not very happy right now. So it'll give them a better start. I'll be right back. Anytime I am working with transplants, I like to use Mykos. It's a mycorrhizal inoculant that helps your plant become one with the soil, is what I like to say. And you only need a teeny little bit. And for mycorrhizal, you do want that to touch the roots of your plants. For cabbage, it's only 1 plant per square. Boy, that thing is not happy. But we're going to try to save this little baby plant right here. Come on now, wake on up. I'm going to get you some water. I'm going to make you nice and happy in there. And then this one's even smaller. We're going to try to make it happy too. And if they don't survive, I'll wait till some of the other ones get a little bigger and I'll transplant them in. No loss. I don't think about this as a loss. So those 2 cabbage are in, and they're not going to get happy till they get a little bit of water to go along with that fertilizer and that Mykos. But now we're going to move over here and we're going to do something different in these squares. All right, I decided to go grab some teeny little bitty lettuce transplants. And we're going to transplant 4 lettuce in this one here, and we're going to put the spinach in that one there. It's going to be hard to even get mycorrhizal on them. They're so tiny. Y'all, they're really too young to be transplanted, but we're going to transplant them anyway. I got 2 different varieties. I think I know what they are. I will put the varieties right up here for you. I think one of these is Cimarron or either Pablo, one or the other. And so I'm putting both of them up there. And that's what this is right here with that little red tint. So we're going to put it right there. There you go. You'll get happy again. Just hold on. I tried to make sure I got root and all. So when I picked it up, I picked up extra dirt underneath so that I know I didn't disturb the roots when I grabbed them up. The other one that I'm going to put over here, I think is either Slow Boat or Grand Rapids. Ooh, y'all, I don't know. Y'all, it's been rough. Y'all just don't know. It's been rough. There's been a lot going on. Anyway, there's the pictures of either Slow Boat or Grand Rapids, whichever one it is. And I'm only supposed to put 4 in here, but somehow I picked up 2 on that one. Let's see if it's going to survive. So I did the exact same process on these as I did on these that I did 2 days ago. It looks like 3 of the 4 are looking pretty good. This one don't look so happy, but we'll see if it comes back. And I didn't put any fertilizer when I put it in. I was just out and about and I saw it. I picked it up and transferred it. Now in this one right here, we are going to put baby leaf spinach. And for the spinach, it says you can harvest in 30 days. 30, that's it. Or you can leave them in for up to 40 days. I think for the spinach, y'all, I don't forgot. I'm gonna have to put it up here on how many I'm supposed to use if I'm using the square foot garden method that I'm supposed to use. I think it's 9, I think. So that's what I'm gonna space them out to. No, that's not right. Since I'm picking them as baby spinach, I'm gonna do 12. I'm gonna do 4 across and 4 rows. And that might not be right. So I'm gonna put the right thing up here so that you don't have to follow my mistake, if this is a mistake. Spinach did really well for me in the spring, so I was really happy about the spring. And hopefully it's gonna do really well for me this fall. Now, nobody in my family likes to eat lettuce just straight up, eat spinach, just straight spinach, but they love it mixed into their salads. And that's the plan today. Oh, let me tell you how deep to plant it. For the spinach, we are only going a 1/2 inch deep. Again, this pocket really doesn't need anything, so I'm going to use my finger to push it down a 1/2 inch. And I go by the line. Measure this stuff out. You know I'm not, but I go by the lines of my fingers. So that first bend on that first finger, I say that's close enough to 1 inch. So I'm going to go halfway down of that first bend. And that's how we're going to plant this up, y'all. Now I got to find my seeds. These seeds look just like the fertilizer. I might miss something. And when they start coming up, y'all, if they too close, y'all know I'll move them. You ain't got nothing to worry about that. I will just move them somewhere else. All right, that pocket's planted. I patted it down just a little bit because when the wind blows, I find this dirt likes to blow around just a little bit. So that's why I patted that down just a hair. Now, y'all, before I water, let me clean this bed up because this is not going to work. This stuff too close in some places and not close enough. Uh-oh, I broke that. I might barely leave well enough alone because I just messed that up. Oops. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone. So our next step in this process is to water this bed in. I watered the areas where I had things in the other day when I was out here, but today I'm going to give it a nice watering, everything, the things that's established as well as the things I'm trying to get established. Now you have to be careful when you have little bitty young plants like this. Don't waterlog them, right? You don't want them too waterlogged. So if I water them today and it's not super hot out here and they're kind of in the shade and they're not in that bright sun, I might not need to water them tomorrow. So just remember that you can overwater just like you can underwater. So just check in on your babies and just make sure that they're happy. And if they look happy and you touch that soil and that soil is moist, leave it alone. Give it another day. All right, let's start watering. Oops. And so I can't water from the bottom or anything like that on these. So I just water by the squares. Now this bed does have drainage holes in the bottom. Some people said there are no holes in the bottom. Yes, there are. There are little bitty ridges like this in the very bottom. They kind of go up and down like this. And everywhere where it goes up, that's a ridge for the water to come out that side. Spending a little more time on my established plants than I am on the ones I'm just planting today. Okay, there you go. We will see if that cabbage lives or dies. But now this bed is fully replanted again for the 3rd time this season. So I was able to succession plant 3 times in one season. Y'all, that's a lot of food. I have 12 areas on this bed growing like 12 different things. So that's a whole lot of food for a family. Now this bed comes in a 4-foot length, a 6-foot, and an 8-foot, if this is something you're interested in. But there it is, y'all. We are watered in. And now all we got to do is talk to our babies. It's going to be okay. Now y'all grow up nice, big, and strong and watch it grow. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, turn on notifications, all of that kind of good stuff. Thumbs up as well. And don't forget to subscribe. So until next time, and I hope there will be a next time that you hang out at Kim's Cozy Corner with me. Bye.